I'm out for a service call for no heat on this Trane heat pump package unit. When I got out here, basically the system wasn't doing anything. The thermostat was in a call. I think it was set for like 68 degrees and it was basically 64 in the space. I got up to the unit and it was doing absolutely nothing. With these new Tranes, they have these cool little digital readouts, and it'll actually show, camera never adjusts very well, but it says basically emergency stop, critical. I'd actually reset the power once, but it was basically everything in the fault codes was talking about defrost issues and stuff like that had failed. Also another thing, so that's my active alarms, and you can see right here it's flashing the alarm. So when you get to the screen, you can hit alarms and then it'll show you active alarms right now. And since I just reset it, for some reason it didn't save those, but it does have historic talking about some different things that had failed here, and you can go through and scroll this list. There's a bunch of the same stuff. Actually, it looks like it's almost all on March 11th is whenever this happened. So with all talking about defrost, I kind of instantly started trying to find the defrost sensor, and I was kind of starting to trace out wires and looking around. And I got my outside sensor right here, and on this front panel you can kind of see has these little slits right there, so I can get that outside temperature for this guy. And then, like I said, I was looking for my defrost sensor, and I was just kind of trying to start to funnel my eyes and everything kind of towards this direction, and then it just caught my eye right up here. You can just see where it arced the power, and all of these wires, which are live, so I'm not going to get too much in there, but all of them are rubbed through, and a couple of the wires are actually rubbed completely through to where it's like the wire, like the you can see the copper wire inside is completely like broke. So I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping I get lucky and I can kind of just splice that. Hoping maybe if there's enough slack in there, I can kind of get that splice made and rehook up those wires. See if I can get this thing up and going again. I'm probably just gonna do wire nuts for now, because that's what I have on me, just to see if it'll actually take care of it and we didn't fry the motor at the same time. So I'm gonna give that a go first and see if I can get that motor going once I actually have power going to it again. I'm hoping that's all I gotta do, but otherwise I might have to do a condensing fan motor, so I'll find out here shortly. Yeah, and if I didn't say, those wires are actually the ones going to the condensing fan motor, so it makes sense why it was tripping out on all these defrost issues, because I'm surprised it doesn't have a bunch of pressure error codes too. But yeah, that's what I got going on. I'll kind of do a little follow-up here once I make that connection, see if I get lucky on that. And I am going to try to keep an eye too, any other spots that might be rub points and stuff on this particular unit, just to hopefully make sure that doesn't happen. You can actually see, looks like someone might have already adjusted it, but you can see for this TXV, all this tubing, you can see like right here and right there where this is rubbing at one point. This wasn't me, but I'm guessing a different tech had seen this at some point and luckily saved it before this rubbed all the way through. I can see definitely some wear right here on that tubing, but it definitely didn't go through. I've gone out for that service call plenty of times though, where that's happened, where the that copper's rubbed through. I've actually even seen it where it rubs through on the main pipe as well in the past. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Like I said, I'm going to try to splice that and see if I get lucky and we don't actually have to do the motor too. So after further investigation, I found that it was only one of the wires that rubbed through on those three. I made the connection right here, and I'll probably zip tie it back over here just so it's not in the weather as much. But I turned everything back on after I did that and noticed nothing had really been coming on, even though my display is on and everything like that. Next, I want to just check, because obviously with a short like that with line voltage, usually you're going to blow a fuse after I started thinking about it more. So these things have actually phase monitors on a lot of these Tranes. If you see that red light, you know that either your phasing is wrong or you lost a leg of power. So it's kind of a quick cheat kind of sheet for you for doing diagnostics. So I see I have the red light clear as day now that I opened up the panel. And so now I know most likely my power is not correct. So I just I could have tested my power where it came in right here if I wanted to, but I just kind of said screw it and went right to the disconnect. So I tested, I got good power coming in. It's actually 480 volt on this particular system, 3-phase 480. I have good voltage coming in up top, but down below, I kind of tested it with my meter. I had it out here, and I definitely do not have power coming through all my fuses. So this is kind of a different size fuse. It's a much bigger style. I'll have to I don't stock this size on my truck, so I'll have to order these in to get this all taken care of. But I'm pretty certain that once I get the new fuse in here, it'll be up and running and operational again. But another indication you can kind of do with these fuses, once you kind of do your little power lead test, if you just put your voltmeter leads on each of the power terminals here, as soon as you figure out you don't have power, you can kind of isolate which one it most likely is, and you can get some fuse pullers, pull out the fuse, obviously kill the power and everything like that to it. The smart way to do it is actually kill the power downstairs at the breaker panel too, especially with this higher voltage, because you never know if one of these disconnects is bad or if a connection was brittle. I just did a video not that long ago with a loose connection actually in a panel, and everything was all brittle and broken. I mean, you go here to pull this off, and that happens to be the live side. Now you got loose line voltage kind of all over the place. So the safest bet to do is kill power down below, get your fuse pullers, pull the fuses out, ohm out the fuses, and just to kind of for sure distinguish which one's bad. Sometimes what I'll do, like if it's single phase, I'll replace the bad one, but I'll replace both fuses, and I'll put the old one. Sometimes I'll like lay it in the disconnect just to have a spare in here. Also, for ongoing things that could happen, it's kind of a quick indicator to anyone who's working on it that most likely something has happened to this in the past. Just kind of gives you a heads up knowing you might have had power issues. I mean, that's not always the case, but that's usually anytime I've seen it, that's kind of been the case. So yeah, where this one's gonna be left off is I will have to get a new fuse. I fixed the short in the wire, need to get a new fuse, and then I can further test it and make sure everything's good. So I'll write it up that way just so people know, because I'll have to get approval on the fuse anyways before I can even go and get it. So it probably won't be today. If it is, it'll be later today if I can track one down. But yeah, so like I said, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's a chance it took out the motor or could have damaged something else. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna hope that everything is good. Just I probably won't be able to do a follow-up with the new fuse. But that is where I'm leaving it off right now. So the site approved doing the repair on the fuse. So I tracked down the fuse and went and picked it up. And like I said, I basically got into electrical panel over here, or not the electrical panel, but the disconnect over here. And I just pulled all the fuses and I ohmed them all out. This is the guy when I ohmed out, hitting the lead up here and the lead down there. It ohmed out bad. So out of the three, since it's 3-phase, only one was truly bad on the fuses. I ended up getting the fuses all put back in there. Like I said, I was talking about like a fuse puller. So you just get this, it clamps on and you can pull it out or put them back in with it. So I got all the fuses in, got the power turned back on down at the breaker panel, got the power turned back on up here at the disconnect, and basically powered everything up and got it up and running. Put it into a call for heat and it kicked right on. Everything looks to be running good, like it should be. Like I said, on the wire, only one of them was damaged, and luckily it didn't take out the motor. That was my biggest concern. But yeah, everything looks like we're good to go. So yeah, pretty easy going. That was pretty simple deal. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, please subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.